The tarot is full of symbols, and today we're going to take a look at mountains. Hello and welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. Today we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most common symbols of the tarot, which is mountains. Mountains can be seen on almost every single card of the tarot. Sometimes they are very far off in the distance. Sometimes they are right behind us, very, very close. And sometimes you even see the character on the card standing right on top of those mountains. Mountains in the tarot mean a couple of different things. Typically, it means obstacles to overcome, challenges that are ahead. But it can also mean our experience and where we are on our journey. Have we started to climb those mountains? Have we reached the peak? Are we over that peak and we're back down on the downward slope? So it can really illustrate for us how much we've already experienced and how much is yet to come. With that, mountains are about endurance. Do we have what it takes to reach our goals? Will we reach our goals and will we realize them if we persist on our journey? Additionally, mountains can represent wisdom as well, because if it illustrates for you where you are in the realization of your goals and the challenges that are ahead, it can also illustrate the challenges that you have already overcome, the goals that you have already achieved, and that history and the learning that you've had along the way and the wisdom that you've gained along the way. So mountains can represent wisdom as well. So let's take a look at a couple of cards that show mountains pretty prominently. First is the very first card of the entire tarot deck, which is the Fool. I did a different video where I talked about the Fool and I talked about mountains in this card, but as a review, the mountains here are huge in the background. They look very large, very foreboding, and that is because the Fool hasn't yet started his journey. There is literally a mountain of experience that he has yet to face and that he has not yet overcome. And so the mountains here represent not only all of the goals he has to meet, but all of the wisdom he has yet to attain. Likewise, we have the Hermit. I did a video about the Hermit as well where we talked about the mountains here. And in this case, you see the Hermit is standing directly on top of the mountains. This is somebody who has walked a path, who has experienced a lot, and who is at the threshold of becoming all that they want to be. But in the Hermit's case, he's standing on top of those mountains, really contemplating what his next step is. So in this case, he's already achieved a lot, but there is still a lot more to come. Here's a slightly different example. This is the Two of Wands. So this one, you can see the mountains are a little bit far off in the distance. They're not super far away, but the mountains here do seem like they are quite large. It does mean that this person still has a lot to learn and a lot to experience. And they really have only just started on that path or that journey towards their goals, towards that realization and towards that extra wisdom and experience that they have yet to achieve. And finally, I love this one. This is the Eight of Cups. You can see that this person is literally walking amongst what looks like the mountains. They are deep on their path. They are in it, experiencing it. They are on that upward slope. They are working their way towards their goals. So they really are in the midst of that journey. And this is where the symbolism of mountains as representing endurance really makes sense. This is somebody who knows they have a long way to go, but they're taking every step to make it along the way. They may be tired, but they're going to keep on going. And so that's just a couple of examples of where we see mountains in the tarot. Like I mentioned, they appear almost every single card. Sometimes they are so tiny and far in the background that you don't even notice they're there, and sometimes they are, boom, right up in your face. So when you do pull a card that has mountains on it, you're going to want to take a look at, one, is the person engaging with those hills? Are they looking at them? Are they standing on them? Are they walking away from them? Two, how big are they? Where are we in that journey? Take a look at what you see on the mountains as well to give you a little bit more insight as to what aspect or area of somebody's life or journey those mountains can represent. So that's this week's Tarot Tuesday. I hope you've enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you next week. And I hope the rest of this week is a wonderful one for you. Take care.